Hey, is my mic working? How are we doing on everything? Are we good? I think we're good. I hope so. I see a little dot down there at the microphone. All right, cool. Can you hear me by you, Bandit? Welcome back, man. Manic Pyro, thank you for coming back. Pyro, dude, welcome back, bro. Yeah, I thought I'd put something there different to look at for a minute. Yeah, I'm fine. It's all good. It's just since they put the police station at the end of my block, their radio tower knocks out my wireless mic from time to time because of the power of the signal and shit. And they just went by with their blue lights and shit on, so I thought they were coming for me for a minute, but I'm good. Yeah, I know you do, man. You're a good friend to have. I appreciate you. I do. I appreciate all you guys that come and hang out with me and talk. I look forward to seeing you and hearing about your stashes and shit. Some of you guys are just killing me with the sweet stuff that you got put up, man. I'm like, I got to get something new with the quickness. You know how it is when you haven't got your order yet. You start seeing everybody online getting their stashes together, and you're like, "Oh man, it's a Star Trek light, man. It's like a motion light, like the old timey kind of shit." That's true. Us pirates share a lot of traits, a lot of similarities. Cool, cool. Thanks for the heads up, man. Oh, I'm always on the lookout. You gotta be careful around here these days. YouTube's pretty hot. From what I told anyway. I have no reason to disagree with these people that's told me this, so it is getting pretty strict around here with their policies and their rules shit. Cool, man. I just wish I had brought in a few more people, but it's just numbers. I'm just glad to have a few loyal friends that come in and say hi. That's always appreciated for sure. Yeah, it is. It really is. They want a bunch of cookie cutter bullshit. It's not the real world. The whole thing that made YouTube popular to start with is it's supposed to be the real world. So they're kind of betraying their own self by doing that strict Nazi bullshit policies like they do. I'm sorry, there's a lot of copyright laws, but in most of the world, and copyright laws don't mean shit. I don't know. I don't get it. I'm at the age where I guess I can't understand people like PewDiePie and all T-Virus, whoever the hell that is, and all these big names with millions and millions of subscribers. I've checked them out, and I'm like, I don't understand this, but I think I'm too old to understand it now. Yeah, you were telling me about that. They took your channel away and stuff over that shit. That ain't cool. Well, I've never really gave it a chance. It just, wasn't my thing being an older person. I was like, okay, yeah, this is a young kid and stuff. It's just not my element now. But I don't see the draw. I just don't understand that. But I'm sure a lot of YouTubers would like to figure out that. Some of them, man. I watched one that's got millions of subscribers, and he's a computer builder, and he got all these free products and stuff sent to him by these companies to demo, and that's awesome. And he just throws the shit in the floor like it's trash. I'm like, dude, that is so disrespectful to that company that sent you that stuff. Even if you don't like it, you don't have to treat it like that. Because that company that sponsored you do not want you treating their product like that. I'm sure. You know. But people do stupid shit on YouTube. That's kind of my idea that I started YouTube, man. I wanted to make a record of my fireworks so I could go back and see what one looked like later, because I have a tendency to buy the same stuff later on. Like I think all of us do. We have our favorites over the years. Like Hit the Road Jack, two cases of that and two cases of highfalutin, because them cakes are just awesome. I don't care how old they get. I don't understand that either. People watching people game. I watch people like Nightshade. He's a gamer, but I started watching him. I don't remember why, but it was more just to check out the games to see if they were any good. But as far as watching another person play, I don't understand the draw on that. And I tried it many times, and I didn't get more than a few people. So I don't know. Oh, I didn't know nothing about YouTube when I started out at all. I thought playlist was like for stuff that you like, so I put all my favorite videos and stuff into it. I didn't know it was like my playlist. I was thinking like a iPod or something. Dude, I didn't know, but I was glad. I mean, I have to be thankful to YouTube for the stuff that it's opened up to me and the people that I've got to know through it. But because before that, man, most of the time I'm a lone pyro. I got my buddy Dave. He comes down when he can, but he lives pretty far away now, and he's got the whole wife and family thing going on. Doesn't give him a lot of time to get away. Plus, he works 6 days a week. Well, there's another thing. You get on here, man, and you build a video library and you talk to other people. People can tell if you're real or not, too. Your experience kind of speaks for itself. Because there's a lot of people that you have to watch out for that's here to hem your ass up, and they don't really know what they're talking about most of the time. You also have to watch out for You have to watch out for cops. You also have to watch out for old pyros that are so stuck up and stuff like that that they'll turn your ass in, because they're the guys that's been using 1.3 for years, and they go out with fireproof suits and hard hats and all that stupid shit. And if you're not doing all that, you're unsafe. The CIA. Yeah, there you go. The CIA would love me. Shit, they'd recruit me if they got to know me. It's not a bad idea. If you're up there hand firing 1.3 or something like that, it's not. But if you're out there playing around with 1.4, it just looks stupid. I mean, that's just my opinion. Well, it all depends on what you're messing with. I'm sure. I'm just saying they get stuck in their ways, and if other people aren't doing it that way, then they will turn your ass in with the quickness. Nice. Don't you love how YouTube works? 1.3 is fireworks, but it's the professional class of fireworks. You have to have a Type 54 fireworks explosives license to be able to buy or own or let off 1.3 product. And then you have class 1.4 that everybody can buy. That's the type that you can buy in a fireworks store. And then you have another product that's called Articles of Pyrotechnics. And it's in the gray area between 1.4 and 1.3. So it's not regulated, so it can have heavier loads than most and still be legal to possess without having a Type 54 license. See, there's all kinds of workarounds. You just have to know how to work the system more or less. And that's one of the things that us pirates do when we get together. We network and we learn how to work the system. I can imagine, but there's a lot of times, Debbie, that we have to speak in code because there's also a lot of people that don't like what we do. So a lot of times you'll hear us use a color or a certain word, but to us, we understand what we're talking about, but to you, it might sound a little weird. I make sure show good, better, and best in non-pirate terms, I'd say. I don't understand what you mean there, pirate dude. You kind of lost me with that one. Yeah, I like all kinds of folks as long as they're not assholes. But we can deal with those too. Yeah, that shit's just ridiculous. Like that doctor that you watched that hearing where they brought that doctor up there and they like, if you put a firecracker on a baby's head, you'd give him a concussion. And I'm like, if you're putting firecrackers on a baby's head, the firecracker is not the problem in that situation, you know? I mean, that's just some shock value bullshit that they pull out of their ass and try to make look relevant. Like, ooh, it's going to hurt the babies. Well, if you're dropping fireworks on a baby, got a bigger problem, you know? But that's the kind of stuff they pull out to try to make their point in the name of safety. But what it is, TNT and Phantom Fireworks have gotten together and they want to pass this law to get rid of all the good fireworks so they can sell their snakes and sparklers because their specialty is making fountains. And it'll also put all their competition that are into the good shit out of business, leaving TNT and Phantom Fireworks standing probably almost unchallenged in the market, which is illegal as shit, and they should not get away with it. That pisses me off. And anybody that's a pyro and a serious pyro should boycott any Phantom or TNT products. That's my take on it. The only way you can get back at a company is by hitting it in the pocketbook. The best time to order is right now, actually. February, March, about that time of year is when inventory and stuff like that's coming in and changing around, and most of the pyro places have sales during this time of one sort or another. Yeah, and in some ways, I hate myself for agreeing with them in some instances because there's a lot of fireworks out there right now that scare me because of getting in the wrong hands. And it's a little too easy to obtain the good shit, which I know that sounds counterintuitive to what we try to do, but in a negative sense, it kind of worries me too. Because in a pyro's hand, the stuff is fine, but in a non-experienced person's hand, that stuff is, bad. Oh, pyro dude had an experience he was telling me about, and if he hadn't been an experienced pyro and knew instantly what was going on, he probably wouldn't have all his fingers right now. Appreciate it, Barry, man. I worry about the people selling to just any random individual, the person that don't have a lot of conscience on the selling thing and some inexperienced person getting a hold of it. That's what worries me the most in the pyro industry right now. Yeah, you definitely have to check people out, man. Beware of strangers bearing gifts too. Let me put that out there as well. Nah, nah, not me. That's what I worry about, man. Because anybody can come in and figure out shit works and get their hand on product if they want to, and they might not have an experience level for that product. Northern Trail Dog, I think that's the biggest thing that you don't want to put on YouTube because anything homemade or stuff, they'll try to give you hemmed up for making explosives. If you don't have a license and stuff, they could really get up in you for that one. Yeah, yeah, definitely always brace your cakes with a couple cinder blocks at least. That's a pyro lesson a lot of people learn the hard way. Like my buddy, for some reason, I don't know if he was just that ripped or what, he walked over and put a raging Rottweiler cake right on the corner of the firework table and lit it. I knew instantly that was not a good idea. It kicked about 3 shots off and then it turned over and was shooting at us. I'm like, you dumb bastard. But he paid for it because it shot him right in the ass. Yep. Dude, this one was following us as we were running away from it. We were hiding behind a doom buggy and shells were banging off the rails and shit. It was crazy. And one of my buddies, he got nervous and he ran away from cover and it nailed him right in the ass. Blackened his whole leg all the way down to his knee. He had an imprint of shell on his leg. Yeah, because he just set the cake on the corner of the table and lit it. I was like, oh shit, no. I mean, my buddy Dave's been letting fireworks off for me with me for years, and he always goes in with me when I order them, so I appreciate that greatly. But sometimes he does some dangerous shit. I gotta watch him. But I think all of us powers know somebody like that you let off fireworks, but you gotta kind of keep an eye on them. Snow and soft mud is definitely one to get you shot at. Really? Yeah. Yeah, kind of. There's a lot of homemade stuff and a lot of people remaking the stuff. Sometimes it's original, old stock. I mean, it can be found. I've been that far. Yeah, that's one thing. If you ever work in fireworks and you're working with the general public, you'll get sick of how many people comes in and ask you if you have M80s. And like, when did they ban M80s in the fucking 70s or something? But every jackass wants to ask you if you got M80s or 90s. I don't know. I never really was into the big firecrackers until recently, really. I've never had a real cherry bomb. It's one on my list that I haven't had, to be honest. I'd like to have a classic style one. That would be cool. Try one out if it was, made in the same fashion and everything. But honestly, the fireworks that we have now that we can find blows that stuff out of the water. It makes an M80 look like a snap pop. Some of the stuff that's on the market. XL fireworks. I've never been there, man. It'd be a cool place to check out. I grew up with the Black Cat fireworks, man. If I got a brick, that was a prize. That was better than Christmas morning for me, man. I'd use that brick of fireworks and I'd never light an entire pack because that was just a waste. I'd unravel all that shit. It's cool memories to look back and think about that stuff. I've told people before about my perfect memory that happened a couple years. Well, I think it would have been last year, or the year before last. But you know, the moments in life when sometimes you just take a snapshot of time and it sticks with you. But me and my daughter were on a roller coaster, a classic wooden roller coaster, and as we're climbing the lift hill, the pyro started going off for the night in the background. And I'm like, this is just a perfect moment, you know? Yep. I thought to myself, if this was my last thought in this world, I'd go out happy. I started going to amusement parks when I was a little kid, and I just never stopped. It's kind of like fireworks. It's my second love in life. It's a lot harder for me to do now. I gotta ride a wheelchair and shit, but I still like to go. I mean, I could still walk and stuff. It's just too hard on me to walk from spaces to place to place for more than a few hours anyway. Do you know what the shitty part is? It costs more to rent a wheelchair than it does to get in a park. I think that's wrong. It costs $45 to get into the park for the day. It costs $65 to rent a wheelchair for the day. 70 something after all the taxes and fees. So it costs more to rent a wheelchair than it does to get in the park. That's just wrong. Yeah, it is, man. I budget everything down. I've got a problem with numbers and getting fixated on them and stuff like that. So I really budget my shit out, and that just sucks. It's like that truck I've got, man. I really like that Nissan, but for a I think it's a 3.3 or some crazy shit six cylinder, it uses gas like a V8. That kind of sucks. Yeah, well, it's embarrassing and shit like that when people look at you and you're riding a wheel and shit. They look at you like, "What are you, just lazy?" I'm like, "No, you don't. It's none of your damn business, you know." I hit a dude with my wheelchair one day because he was looking at his phone and he wasn't paying attention where he was going, so he just bounced off the front of the bumper. I'm like, "You should pay attention, asshole." I don't care. Hey, what's up, Red Kryptonite? How you doing? Welcome to the stream, man. Just chat about whatever you wish, brother. Indeed, man. If people could just understand that concept, the world would be a much brighter place. It would. Mind your own damn business. Unless what I'm doing affects you, it ain't got nothing to do with you. What's up, Manic Magic? How you doing? I try to be a respectful person too. It's like my experience I told you about going to the grocery store on a Sunday wearing a heavy metal t shirt and getting all the shitty looks from the people that just got out of church, like I'm some kind of sinner or something. But yet, when I leave the grocery store and see a man walking beside the road carrying a gas can, I'm the only one that stops and picks him up and takes to get some gas. So who's the sinner there? Hypocrite assholes. People, it's like I tell people, I'm not racist at all. I hate everybody equally until you prove otherwise. It sounds like it's going to be pretty sweet, man. You're hyped up about that. What is it, muckle shoot? I don't know if I could even pronounce that shit. Nah, there's no time in that. We're all brothers and sisters. There's no point in being racist. If you're being racist, you're just hating on your own people. That's it. I hate everybody equally. Or how you doing, Luke? I still got the rack you made me. That was a pretty sweet prize. I use it quite often, man. I recovered it with reflective glow in the dark tape so I wouldn't trip over it though, 'cause I damn near died tripping backwards over that son of a bitch. That was a bad experience. I was trying to film a fountain and I backed up too far and I tripped over the rack backwards. The next thing I knew, my ass was on the ground looking at the sky. I was like, what? That dude jacked up the rest of my video. I got the lamp at, I think, in FYE or someplace that sells, shit like that. And I got like a picture of Spock and Captain Kirk and stuff on it in the Enterprise. It's got little LED lights that light up. Yeah, Pyro Dude, he watches my videos, man. I appreciate the support. You know how it works, man. People, if you support me, I will support you. Or Pyros, we all stick together anywhere. We should. There's some divisions among us, but most of us stick together pretty well. It's a damn good group of people. I know that. So I'm thankful to YouTube for that, for connecting me to other people. But all their rules and stuff is a little hard to keep up with. Oh yeah, man. I went to a stand a couple years ago in Tennessee, and the shell husk and stuff like that were literally landing on the firework tent. I'm like, this is not wise. You need to get this shit farther away. Where is it that I live? I live in West Virginia, out in the mountains, in the boonies. Well, kind of in the boonies. I got a place in the boonies, and I got a place in town. I live in town, but I'll let off my fireworks and stuff like that in the boonies so I don't bother anybody. Yeah, man, it could be worse. So sure, rubbing that in, are you? Yeah, good lord, I'd go, but I'd have to get a plane. I wouldn't be able to bring any pyro with me, and then I'd end up buying a bunch of shit. So I don't know what I'd do. I couldn't bring it back with me on the plane, so it wouldn't work for me. Driving my truck across country would be a good test for it, but I don't want to try that shit either. Where is the Muckleshoot anyway? You said it was 600 miles away from you. Oh, I got quite a dead firework carnage file myself. I need to set on fire here pretty soon. Sweet, man. I got a few ATV trails cut out on my property and stuff. I'm gonna do a video of that and stuff when I feel better. I got a 300 King quad I like to ride. I don't go quite as fast as I used to these days, though. I guess you could do that, but good lord, the freight would be horrible. Because I'm talking, I don't ever just get a few things. It'd be a fucking pallet by the time I got out of that place. Washington. Damn, man. That'd be crazy to be out west. I have no experience in that area. Probably feel out of place. Don't worry about it, man. I understand what you mean. I've heard that from a lot of people. But you know how it is, man. I've been in the fireworks, the most expensive fireworks store I ever seen in my entire life. And I used to drive a truck, so I went cross country and I've stopped at a lot of fireworks stores. The most expensive I ever saw was in Ohio. It's called Prism Fireworks. And it's a nice old school fireworks shop. They got a lot of cool stuff, but their prices are insane. It's like, have you seen the Time Bandit torpedo shells? It comes with like 36 shells or something. I mean, it's a nice kit, right? They were selling it for like 300 and some dollars. It was like, holy shit. A set of Excaliburs was like $250 for one box. I'm not talking about case prices. I'm talking about like one frigging 24 shell box. It was like 200 or 300 bucks. I had never seen stuff. Their bottle rockets was $15 a pack. And I'm like, how does this place even stay in business, man? Yeah, shit, I ain't paying worse than the Cali price. Ain't no way. Oh, dude, us pyros. Unfortunately, we spend ridiculous amount of monies on our hobby. It is expensive. It's almost like a drug habit. I mean, it's healthier for you than a drug habit, but financially, it's pretty rough. Fireworks are expensive no matter how you buy them. If you think about it, but shit, you only live once, man. If something makes you happy, you should go for it. That's the way I look at it. If you can, I mean, never put your obsession over the priorities like bills and shit like that. But if you can do it, do it. Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, where did that $50 go? Where did that $30 go? Where did that $100 go? Yeah, man, I know how it goes. Yeah, I know. Oh God, I know, man. That's one of the things that gives it away right away when you're talking to a pyro, and the first thing they start talking about is Excalibur shells, because right then you know, well, okay, this guy's let off fireworks before, but not many. I don't want to see them. Period. That's my philosophy on that, Manic Pyro. I try to keep them guys away from me. Yeah, well, you gotta check people out, man, because there are foxes in the hen house. You better believe that when it comes to the pyro. And shall we say the secondary market, you have to be careful who you talk to and what you say. Very careful. Hey, what's up? Easy tips and tricks. How you doing? You're just building away, man. I saw that video on trim that you done. That was pretty good. I've got to do that in my bathroom. I bought a lot of trim that's got this cherry grapevine engraving done into it. It should look really nice. Dude, I remember liking Excaliburs and stuff back in like 2009, 2010, somewhere around in that area, because at the time they were one of the best show that I could find personally in my area. But others come along and surpassed them long ago. Hey, it's going. Kind of having a rough pain night tonight, if you can tell by my voice. Thought I'd get on here and talk to some of you guys. Ah, so you got the N already built in. That's good. Yeah, but it does give away somebody's pyro cred when that's the first thing that comes out of their mouth as they start talking about the Excaliburs. Yeah, I noticed that matching up the where the grapevine's engraved into it, and it's got kind of a swirl pattern. Definitely have to match that up, or it's just gonna draw the eye and look really weird. And I'm not that good at doing the corners for some reason when it comes to trim and shit. I'm not a carpenter by any means, but I have to do my own stuff because I can't afford to pay somebody else. I don't know. I appreciate you guys stopping and talking to me, Manic Pyro. That's what I come on for, is to talk to my people, make you feel a little bit better, I think. and it's cold and snowing, so it's no good to let anything off right now. It's too late. Yep. I'm looking forward to getting this computer shipped out to Falling Bomb. I know he'll love it once he gets it. I'm gonna put it all together, have it running by tomorrow night, and do a video on the complete product and everything before I send it to him. He got the shipping money and stuff like that together for me, so at least I don't have to worry about that. It's been snowy and pretty crappy here today, man. I watched this chick in a nice Nissan new 4x4 spinning like hell because obviously she didn't know how to put it in four-wheel drive. Because that's all she'd had to do. But no, she goes up this hill and it's covered in snow and two-wheel drive. I'm like, she just don't know how the truck works. Yeah, I don't know if the person wants to be named, but he had somebody come forth with like $50 to help with the shipping. Because it's going to be pretty expensive once I get everything wrapped up, and I want to send it UPS because it's fragile because it's got made out of glass in the front and the side panel is glass. I mean, I'm gonna bubble wrap the shit out of it, but still, you know how sometimes they treat packages. I'm gonna take the card out and ship it in the box separately and stuff because it's just too heavy flopping around in there, man. It's just too big of a risk. I think he said he knows somebody that knows computers that can put the card back in for him. I appreciate the offer, easy tips and tricks, but carpentry is just one of them things that just does not come to me naturally. I don't have patience for it. I am good with working with cars and metal and stuff like that, but when it comes to carpentry, it's just, I don't know. I've never been good at it. My stuff always looks like crap. Even when I try, I mean, some of my stuff has come out all right, but I always the flaws in everything I do. I mean, I've got really good at hiding the flaws in what I do, but my eyes are always drawn to them. I'm obsessive like that. Well, see, everybody's got their own gifts and talents and stuff, but machinery and stuff like that, and electronics and everything like that comes to me easy, but carpentry doesn't for whatever reason. I can't cut a straight line to save my life is one of the problems. But I'm going Friday to get glasses, so maybe that'll help that problem. My eyesight is fading pretty quickly. I have to find out why. Yeah, same here, man. Well, engines become my thing because as a kid, if I want, once I obtained a car, I sure couldn't pay nobody to fix it, so I had to learn how to do that stuff myself. And that was back in the old days before the internet, so I had the big giant Chilton books, the giant ones, and I'd read about every car that was in the book from cover to cover until I got that shit memorized. And I taught myself mechanics from books because my dad was sure as hell no help. I grew up with a dad, but it was like not having a dad kind of thing. It's complicated. Yeah, that's me. I like to over torque bolts and stuff a lot. That's my worst mechanics problem. And I'm like, it could be a little tighter and snap. I'm like, son of a bitch. Yeah, tell me about it, Northwest. Yeah, I mean, I can't complain. I had a good family life as far as never been messed with or anything like that. I never was abused, but never was taught anything by my father because he grew up without a father. So for some reason, that gave him the mentality of it was okay for him to be an asshole. I don't understand that, but it made me a good father as far as my experience because I didn't want to repeat his mistakes. So when it come time for me to have my daughter, then that's been my priority in life. Sweet, man. Video it up. I want to see it. All right, I'll keep that in mind. Easy tips and tricks. If I get stumped up, I will give you a call, man. But it's hard to understand directions over the phone. It might be something to try. I appreciate the offer. Oh, I'm all about detail. That's for sure. Just something about the woodworking. I don't know. I think it's my inability to draw and cut a straight line. That's my biggest problem. I don't know why. Like I said, maybe the glasses thing will clear that up. Yeah, I use a straight edge and all that stuff, and I still just cut crooketer and shit for some reason. I do. I blame the saw. Even with a new blade, I'll blame that saw all day. Cool. Yeah, but I'm gonna redo the entire bathroom, which I've already done once, but I wasn't happy with the end result, so I'm gonna redo it. And I have to put an exhaust fan in there, and I can't get access to the attic because the bathroom doesn't really have an attic. It's a low ceiling there. And the exhaust fan I got is made to be installed from the attic down and drop, so I want to find a way to install it from the bottom up and vent that bathroom moisture and like that into the attic right below the vent and try to get rid of it because it's causing too much mold. I'll tell you what, man, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. It's like my experience with my garage that I had. Now, pyro dude, people that's followed me for a while know what I'm talking about, but I had a storm come across like July 2nd that destroyed part of my garage and it started making the whole two-car garage lean, and it was leaning towards my yard, right? It wasn't no danger to my next door neighbor, but on the 3rd of July, she comes up to me wanting to know what I'm going to do about it. She's going to call the whatever and turn me in over and all this shit. And I'm like, lady, this is July 3rd. I'm like, I'm into fireworks. I got a million things going on. I will take care of it. I said, I even go up there and brace that wall that's facing her property and everything. So, unless a tornado come through, you're fine, right? Yeah, even with that extra mile to brace that shit up, still wasn't good enough. So she turned me in, and I had a month to get rid of it. So I went out there with a battery operated sawzall and a hammer, and I tore that shit down with my bare hands. And unfortunately, the thing was covered in asbestos tile, so I wanted to get rid of that shit before anybody seen it. Because if they come in with a cleaning crew, that costs thousands of dollars. So I just crushed the shit up and buried it. I definitely learned from my parents because I had a shitty father, and I was going to make sure that my daughter grew up with a good father. And I'm very proud of the woman that I've helped raise, that I've helped create. My little girl's 17 years old now, man. She's getting offers from colleges all over the nation, including Harvard. 2.8 just sucks balls no matter how you cut it on the motor side, man. A 2.8 is the most embarrassing motor I think Chevrolet ever made. It sucks balls. Even when they're brand new, they suck. Even when they're souped up, they suck. Even when they're cammed up, they suck. A Honda can eat its ass away. It's just 2.8 gave me a phobia, man. Them suck so bad. You can tell I'm traumatized from having a 2.8. Hey, Arden James, how you doing? I mean, it was a dependable car. I will give it that. Now, see, I had good experience with the Quad 4 in an Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra. That thing's still on the road to this day. I still see it. Vega Cogworth. Oh God, the Vega's a good car to take and soup up and shit. I've seen a lot of hot rod Vegas. My grandpa had a Vega at one time. It was a piece of shit. I think it was a V6. I don't remember, but it had a V8 engine cavity. I wouldn't mind getting like a Pacer or something like what they had on Wayne's World. That'd be a cool little car just to have because it's weird. Hell, I like my PT Cruiser just because people hate on it so hard. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I mean, they are a pain in the ass to work on, but once you figure out how they're made, they're not that bad. You just have to learn how to work on them. 4.3 is like a 305 to me when it comes stock. Might as well say it's 305. There's a lot of shit you can do and make a 4.3 run really nice. Dad, not dad. Oh, that's weird. That lamp beside me just sounded like it said something. Like, now, a fuel injected multi-port 3.8 can be a sweet little ride. I had one in my 96 Camaro, and it had about 200 and some horsepower on it, stock, which was pretty good for the time. Well, it's an exhaust fan for the bathroom to pull the moisture out, but it's one that installs from dropping it from the attic down, but I can't get access to the attic, so I'll have to install it from the bottom up. Like I said, carpentry and stuff like that's not my strong suit. Chevy Love, man. The most of them just rusted away to nothing around here. They're pretty rare. You don't see them very often. 305s just suck, man. There is no point in having a 305. You got V8 gas mileage with V6 power. Oh yeah, I'm a big LS fan myself. That's what I put in my Trans Am's, an LS1 from a Corvette. Somebody had stole the Corvette, crashed it, the motor, insurance, and stuff like that paid for it. I got the motor and transmission from the scrapyard, pulled the LT1 out of my Trans Am, and installed the Corvette engine and all that shit in it. POR 14, the entire undercarriage and the engine bay and everything like that. It took me like 2 months to get all that black shit off of my hands. And then I dropped that odor in there and I powder coated all the engine mounts and stuff like that. Candy green, the color of the car. And I mean, it looks with some sweetness. I'm gonna have to find some pictures. I know I got some pictures of it, but I think the only pictures I have are early pictures before I got everything cleaned up, though. But you can kind of get an idea of what I was doing. I have to post them up. I have a video up when I put the new motor in there, but I didn't have it running right. I tried to port my injection system and everything like that, smoothed out my runners and everything with Dremel and all that crap, but apparently I went too far with it because it wasn't getting a good seal around the fuel injectors. I was running way lean. But after I got that figured out, it was a beast. I literally had people almost wreck their cars when I'd pass them and shit because they were scared of the sound. It took me 3 years to complete the car because all the parts and everything that I put into it had to be top of the line. And I didn't have any help either. I had to do all that shit by myself with the engine, the transmission, and all that stuff. You learn ways to do things, though. I went and made an engine stand, went and cut down a bunch of locust trees and had them cut in the joist where the where the branches break off like a fork. I'd find one just right, cut the tree down, and I carried those down and stood them up, and then went and got a big log to go in between and put them in the forks on both sides and concreted that shit in the ground. And that was my engine stand. Then I put my chain hoist on that to pull engines and stuff. I had to make all my own stuff. I couldn't just go buy an engine crank hoist. Back then, I could lift giant logs and shit like that over my head. It was really way over engineered, but it was safe and I used it for years, so it was worth the labor. Thinking about having some logging come in and doing on that property, but I know that's a good thing and a bad thing. I mean, I could clean up, make a lot of money off of logging it, but it makes the land look like shit. So I don't know. I think I might just like have half of the property logged. Well, technically, I can only have half the property logged because it's only half mine. The other half is my brother's. Straight pipe got me pulled over once, man, in my Camaro, and the cop that pulled me over, he didn't see my uniform, and he apologized and shit. And then he took me on a tour of his new ride and was showing me his new equipment and stuff. And I'm like, this is a different experience for me. I hate a Fox body Mustang. Fucking Fords, man. Ugh. I hate them. I built my car just to eat them alive. That was my car's favorite food. Feed it a Mustang 5.0. That's what I'd love to eat. It killed a many of them. I pissed this one guy off so bad. He was wanting to fight. He pulled up next to me on my Camaro or my Trans Am, and he's like, "Hey man, you want to race?" I'm like, "Sure, dude. I'll wait here. You go get your car." His buddies and his homies just started laughing at him. It was good. Yeah, hydrogen on demand. If you run some, let's see, hydrogen generation requires electrical current and stainless steel in a saltwater solution. However, it is unreliable because you can't control the injection rate without some really expensive equipment. Now, if you had a nitrogen pre-burner built into the side of each cylinder that stayed lit the entire time that the engine was running, it would cause more complete combustion in each cylinder and it would increase the mileage significantly and it would get rid of pollution by 98%. But you would have to literally machine the little nitrogen jets into the side of each cylinder to accomplish that. Oh yeah, you run electricity to stainless steel and some water, you can get some nitrogen pretty quick. Like it's just keeping it stable enough to run in your engine. It's not really viable. You know, I'm a purist and I like the gasoline motors. And I'll say this for that electric motors. They're insanely fast, man. It's like you put it down and you are gone. There's no hesitation whatsoever. Yeah, you can take that distilled water and put it in a microwave and heat it up to its boiling point where it has no impurities in it. It won't boil. but as soon as you touch it with anything, it'll explode. It is crazy. Put a fork in it or something like that, and that entire cup of water will explode. It instantly hits the boiling point because of the impurity that's been introduced, and it's just like a chain reaction explosion. It's cool, if you're ready for it, but burn some people before. I don't know why they'd be putting distilled water in a microwave, but hey, it's happened. Some jackass put a damn lava lamp on top of a stove eye one time to make it go faster on that Thousand Ways to Die, and it killed him. And what did he think was going to happen? What I meant is in each cylinder in the cylinder wall itself, make like a little alcove cutout with a nitrogen jet. That way, each time the gasoline cylinder cycles, it would cause that jet to burn more of the fuel that's in the cylinder more efficiently than the spark plug. You get a more complete burn. Yeah, but that hydrogen and that moisture and stuff in them systems and stuff like that are really bad for your motors unless you modify everything around it. I looked into it and I didn't like it. Cool, man. I'd like to see that shit. I still want to see the street rod. That's the one I like. Hey, Randy Matthews, how you doing? But I can appreciate all of them, even though I'm not a Ford man. I still appreciate the classics. Shit. Oh, I do, man. I ate a million of them alive. That Trans Am, I think, was pretty much undefeated. But it's not like I was street racing. I'm just talking about the Mustang that pulls up to you at the light. They see a Trans Am and they start revving their shit. You're like, yeah, we got to go. I watched a dude do that one time. No, he did beat me, but he was in another Camaro, but he got pulled over within like the first eighth mile, and I was like, oh shit. He didn't make it too far. It wasn't a good idea. I was trying to signal to the dude, no, no, don't do it. He took off, and cop was right there. I mean, it was on my way to work. I knew where the cops hung out. I was like, no, man, don't do it. And I guess he was signaling that meant go or some shit because he took off like a bat out of hell. Ah, cool, man. I appreciate you looking into it, Ray Ray. Like I said, I just got really aggravated looking over all my other lists and stuff, and it's stressing me out. So I'm like, I'm just going to roll the dice and find something new and see what they got. So I just picked out random products more or less from their description, so it's hard to tell what I'll get. Oh yeah, I didn't get any. I did not. I hate to hear that, man. I did not get any Zeus shells. I got a lot of the flamingo bombs and the let's say a TI kind of shell. I got some of those. Hey, Brian Johnson, what's happening, man? Hey, everybody, welcome, man. Got a bunch of late night people. It's no 8 a.m. here where I'm at. Dude, I didn't know. I've seen the Zeus shells have been out for a long time, so that's why I skipped them and went with the flamingo bombs because it's something I've never had. I've had the Zeus shells before, but I've never had the flamingo bomb. I didn't have a lot of money to play with after I bought that truck. I did get me a headlight and tail light kit for the truck. It's going to look pretty good. It's like a blacked out kind of clear deal or some shit. And the truck's red, so it should look pretty good on it. Welcome back, Manic Pyro. Yeah, things about it too, but there's not a lot of stuff out about them. I also ordered some bang sight for that little bad boy right there, so we'll be doing a demo on that carbide cannon here, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that haven't seen carbide cannon before. Yeah, Ray, we're in here talking. I'm building a computer for another YouTuber, and I got it all together, and I discovered the power supply was insufficient, so I'm going to have to replace it with a bigger power supply to be able to run everything. But fortunately, I have another one that I was saving back that's an 850 watt, so that'll fix that situation up. I'm going to try to get this mailed out to him by Monday at least. It wasn't that hard. It was just a lot of trying to track down stuff because I was low on parts at the time. So I'd buy what I could find when I could find a deal, and I just put the computer together that way. Well, shit, man, I passed up on the zoo shells, and everybody were telling me they're awesome. I feel bad now. I did get the titanium shells that they had, though, so I think that might be pretty nice. If it is what I think it is. I just rolled the dice, man. I really did. I just picked out product from its description with no background, no video. I never order shit like that. I don't know what come across me. I guess I just got tired of looking at lists, man. Closed my eyes and I could see a spreadsheet in my eyes, and I'm like, I gotta get away from this. No, I don't buy any sparklers, but I did buy some fountains. I knew what that was. I got some. Finally got some of the window fountains, the snow cones. I like those for whatever reason, but last year they weren't in stock. But they were there, but they didn't call them window snow cones. They just called them fountain snow cones. I need to talk to. I need to talk to them and see if they need some work on their website because they really need some upgrades on their website. They'd sell more shit. You need a case of sparklers? What in the world do you need sparklers for, right? Or you're not gonna say? Oh, okay. Well, sparklers are the number one thing that causes injury for fireworks on the 4th of July. A lot of companies went to the wooden kind of, morning glory kind of sparklers these days. Oh, yes, there's a lot of stuff that fireworks are made out of, but it's probably not something that we need to talk about in here. It could get us in trouble. Start talking about how explosives are made, that's the kind of shit that gets you hemmed up. Well, I did have that thought, Ray, but I figured it was for the kids or something like that. Yeah, I think there's one company left here in the United States that still makes sparklers. I think the last time I heard there was one. There might not be any anymore. I watched a documentary or something on it. Yeah, I think them giant ones would be cool. Just don't buy anything from Phantom or TNT, man. Boycott that shit. I can't say that because West Virginia was a safe and sane state for a long time, so that kind of makes you go a little creative with the fireworks that's available to you. I'm sure all of any of you pyros that grew up in a safe and sane state know what I'm talking about. You do a lot of experimentation. That's cool, man. That's cool. I was talking to the pirate dude the other night about that, and that's the problem that I'm having with my shows now that they've gotten so big and so many people come. All these people, and mostly it's friends of my brother, and they bring their friends and they bring their families and all that shit, but nobody ever brings anything to support the cookout. And it's just gotten ridiculous. I'm not going to put out, I'm not even going to do it this year. I'm like, yeah, okay. Bring up something if you want to cook, there's the grill. But 30 or 40 people that you didn't even invite, that's a big hit on the food budget. And especially when they don't come with anything with them, to volunteer anything. Hell, even if somebody just brought a soda or something, it would be cool. But no, that's the kind of stuff I have to put up with. Dude, I'm having a problem with the gas mileage in that Nissan truck of mine. It's right up there as V8 gas mileage, really. I'm always putting gas in it, it seems. For a little V6, it sure as hell uses a lot of fuel. Man, if you're gonna go to a cookout or something like that, it's just common courtesy to at least bring some chips or some soda or some shit. But no, there's none of that. And I don't even like to be like that because I don't care. But at a point, you just can't do it. I'm not gonna spend $500-600 on food. Dude, I think recently, but I'm gonna have to get under there and check all that shit. I haven't got under there and really looked through it. I changed the oil. Did get that done stuff. Really weird. It only holds like 3.5 quarts, and I think that's very strange. Ask about a door. Are you talking to me? Oh, damn. I I'd like to see him, but my ordering's done, man. For my main pyro order for the year, for the wholesale season, as I like to call it. I dropped my bucks on what I had left. Figured I wouldn't get hit on shipping as bad since I wasn't ordering as much, but it's still like $359 or some shit just for the shipping. I was like, good God. See, that's what I want now. I want to find some of the gray shells and stuff that I had last year that I really like. I'd like to get another couple cases of those and have one to let off and one put up. I went like last year's ZR gray shells, a couple of cases of them is what I'm looking for. I did find me some smoke kicks finally, man, but they're not the salute type. They're just the type that goes up and makes a little pop, more or less. But it'll be cool to fill that hour. The damn things are expensive, though. Good God. The case of that's probably one of the most expensive cases I bought, other than some of the 1-1 products that I bought. Some of those were pretty expensive, but they just looked awesome. Some of them Lido stuff, that shit's, it looks like 1-3 more than it does 1-4. But that's never a bad thing. Oh, yes, we all acquire some pretty hardcore pyro. Matter of fact, I need to go get my hardcore pyro out of the back of my truck. I left it in the crew cab. But it's safe, I guess. Got me some new firecrackers and stuff in, but I can't show them because you know how things are. Intergalactic has some nice stuff, but their prices are a little on the high side too. I always look for the deal, man. I guess everybody does, you know. Excuse me. Yeah, it should. I cleaned up everything, got all the mechanisms and stuff working. Um, a friend of mine, her dad died when she was like 13 years old. He got lung cancer and stuff, and they were cleaning out the garage, and I like this Canon, and she's like, "You can have it." And I'm like, "Well, that's awesome, you know, thank you, I'll take it." You know, I'm into this kind of thing. And she's like, "It was my dad's, and he would set it off every New Year's Eve." So I'm like, "I'll tell you what, I'll fix the cannon up and oil it and everything like that, and I'll set it off in honor of your father every New Year's Eve." So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll pass it down to somebody else and ask them to do the same thing. That's the plan anyway. I got an awesome cannon out of it, so it's pretty sweet. She's a really nice girl. She's one of the few nice people I've ever met in this world, so I try to help her out when I can. Although I put an alternator in her car, she's got one of them little Ford Escort XL4s or whatever you call it, and that was the biggest pain in the ass putting an alternator in that car. Oh my god. I literally had to move the entire engine forward, take the mounts loose and everything just to get the alternator because it's tucked out behind the back of the engine. And it's even got this stupid little plastic snorkel that comes off of it because it's so buried deep in the fucking motor that it has to have a snorkel to get air to keep it cool. I'm like, my God. Oh, yeah. You know me, man. I can't wait to let off something new. There'll be all kinds of demos up because the stuff I ordered didn't really have any videos up. And but you know, if it's something special, I'm not gonna do any name dropping or anything like that. Got to protect the product, you know. Man, I'd love to come to that Muckle shoot, but financially, I wouldn't be able to during that time period. I've got so much stuff going on, man. It's unreal. I've got a big road trip planned in May for coaster stock in Ohio, so that's going to be my priority for a while. It's something we do every year, so you know it gets expensive when you talk about renting a car, getting a hotel, the season passes, and all that other shit that you have to buy for the year. It's a lot of money involved. Cool. Yeah, some of the cars are just engineered ridiculously. It's like my PT Cruiser. You're supposed to remove the axle to get to the alternator to replace it. And I was like, screw this. I can take this condenser off the air conditioning and I can get it from the top and be done with it in 30 minutes. Yeah, I had to discharge all my air conditioning, but it was a hell of a lot easier than pulling my axle. That'd be cool. I plan on doing I want to do a second order a little later on after I find somebody that's got some special stuff, you know. Small order, but just concentrate on the special items. Put it that way. Things that go boom. Under the intake manifold? No shit. That is stupid as hell. Why would anybody do that? That is just ridiculous. As a mechanic, that makes me angry. Well, shade tree mechanic, let's say anyway. It's funny, man. When I was a kid, and my homie Dave, me and him are like brothers. We've been friends for like almost 30 years, and we had a Camaro, but it was a piece of shit. And trying to keep that car alive and stuff like that is what us mechanics. He was like, "Oh, we got to save up a bunch of money and take the car to the garage." And I'm like, "No, man, get a book. We can figure this out. We can replace the clutch." Cool, man. I went with a lot of it. Matter of fact, if you guys want to give me a list, give me a minute. I can post my list because there's nothing special on it. You know, it's all 1.4, nothing really to hide. Let me, excuse me. Let me see if I can dig around and find it. Just give me a minute, guys. I hope you guys can still hear me. Oh God, I got too many lists. Where is it? Wayne's World. Wayne's World. Wayne's World. All right, everybody okay? Let's see if this don't jack up the whole situation. Oh, it won't let me post that many. Oh my God. Let's take half the list out. It was over the character limit by 2080. Oh shit, now it's all hung up. Can you guys still hear me? Oh man. Come on, you can do it, computer. I use a really shitty little laptop. And I know people think that's funny because I like to build computers, but I might have to destroy this computer with the quickness, so I use cheap stuff. Not that I'm doing anything that mysterious, I'm just a paranoid individual. Yeah, it's just in plastic intakes with them little O-rings. If you don't replace them, you're screwed. Some people are stupid enough to take them off and not replace them, but anytime you take that manifold off, you should replace them O-rings, even if they look good, because you're already there, you know? Kind of the way I see it. Damn it, I'm trying to post this list, but I really messed up the system when I dropped it on it. Can you guys still hear me? I appreciate some acknowledgement, so I don't know I'm not talking to myself. It would be cool if you guys could talk too. I have a Nissan Frontier pickup truck now. I think I'm upgraded headlights with the red color. It's going to look really good because they're blacked out. It should look pretty badass. I'm gonna do a before and after video on it, and frame it up when I get done with it. I might put some flex face on there. You don't never know, man. Let's see if you guys could still hear me. Let me put this list up here. I'll just read it out what I got. All right, I went with some Saturn missiles because I always have to have them. The 300 base Saturn missiles. I went with one of those. I went with their freight train 2-inch headed rocket. I went with a case of those. I went with their painkiller 1-inch headed rocket. I went with a case of those. I got one of their banners with the logo and everything on it. Then I got a banner that's got like 3 different logos on it, so it should be pretty cool. I always try to get a banner. I got Golden Dragon 5-inch premium titanium willows with different color pistols. I got a case of those. Those sound like they may be interesting. I got a case of flamingo bombs. And I got a case of whistling artillery shells. I got a case of warp drive, whatever that is. I got a case of the phage. I got a case of you got sharded. Yes, you got sharded. All right, let's see what else did I get. I got a case of chemical imbalance. I got a case of swimming with the fishes. And I got a case of holy shit, what is this? Baby rattle with a new effect. Then I got a case of Brainiac. I got a case of Tectonic. I got a case of You Got Caught Red Handed. And I got a roll of each type of fuse that they had. And that's what I ordered. So I don't think I did too bad. Oh, I seafoam everything I get, man. And my truck's already been seafoamed. My little Metro's already been seafoamed. And you should have seen the stuff that come out of that thing. It was crazy. I should have videoed that. That's just where I tried to post that list. I didn't know it was that many characters, and it just caused my computer to have a shit hemorrhage when I put it in there. Damn, I done lost half the audience. Well, see, I actually got that from my buddy Dave because his wife's psycho bitch like it. She probably watches this and be like, "Ah, fuck her." I don't care. She's got issues, but I figured it would be fitting. And then the warp drive and the phage, they're Star Trek cakes, so that sounds cool. I'm down with the Star Trek. No doubt, man. Yeah, if you got something that's that far gone, man, you got bigger problems than seafoam. If it's that wore out, you're not going to go much farther anyway. That's been my experience anyway. Although I have seen some engines that live forever, and they shouldn't because they didn't get any maintenance, they didn't get any care, but for whatever reason, they still work. I've seen that shit before. Never had it. Never had a car like that myself, but I've seen it happen before. It must have been a car that just wore the fuck out, man. There ain't nothing you can do for shit like that. I knew this dude, he bought a little crappy economy Toyota car, and he was like, I'm not going to change the oil in it. I'm going to see how long it takes to blow the motor. That's what he did. I'm like, damn, man. Get run for a couple years. And I mean, he'd take that shit out on a dirt road and use it like a four-wheeler. I don't know why he treated that car that way, but he did. It was pretty impressive what that little car could do, actually. I know enough freaking car I'll never get. Oh shit, what was it? Oh, there's so many little car names. It was a Nissan little economy crap car, and I paid for a premium car, but when I got to the rental place, I got the crap car, and that thing did not have enough power to even pull out into traffic. It was horrible. You literally had to. You were in danger in places like Cincinnati. You got to get the hell out of the way. That car would not do it. Oh shit! Don't tell me I'm gonna lose my signal. But yeah, it would not do it. That's pretty sweet, man. But it's like you said, they don't build them like they used to. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little wore out, guys. I think I'm gonna call her a night, close her down, and go get in my recliner for a while. But I really appreciate you guys stopping in and talking and hanging out with me for a bit. I hope you all guys enjoy your pyro season, your wholesale season, or whatever we want to call it. Happy finding some. Hope you all guys all find some good shit because I know we're all looking. I know I just ran into my mic there. Sorry, but yeah, good luck to everybody, man. I'm gonna get some rest. It's about time. Good night, everybody. Pyro dude, take it easy, homie. I should have my stash. They told me it'd be like the next day, but I don't believe that. So I'm thinking it'll probably get here around Saturday, maybe Sunday. I don't know. But when I get my stash in, I'm thinking about doing an unboxing video. Or is that cheesy? What do you guys think about that? Do an unboxing video or not? 'Cause I know some people hate them. Well, I guess it really don't matter. You kind of do whatever the hell you want to do. It's like my channel, you know. No doubt, man. Especially if it's some stuff I've not seen. I hear you. I'm gonna have to move a lot of stuff around because I've got my table set up with drones and all kinds of toys and everything from ammo and a peanut jar to a gas station lamp and a firecracker sign and just the most random shit you could ever find. There's artifacts buried in that pile of stuff over there. There's a Sumerian coin that's probably 2,000 years old that's laying on my desk over there. There's an arrowhead carved out of flint that's laying on my desk in my giant pile of shit. Random stuff. You just wouldn't believe the stuff that's on my desk. But I'm going to have to shift everything around to get all that pyro in here, and then I have to bring it up the stairs, so that's going to suck. But good night, everybody. Hillbilly Pyro out.